Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Lily. And I'm Chloe. Today, we're diving into a story that's been whispered about for generations. A tale that feels like it's been plucked right out of a spooky campfire legend. But what if there's more to it than just a story? Imagine a small, isolated village, nestled deep in the mountains. A place so remote it feels like a step back in time. The people there live simple lives, governed by ancient traditions and the changing of the seasons. But when the sun dips below the horizon and the world is cloaked in darkness, a palpable fear descends upon the village. They call it the Crimson Curse. It starts subtly. Livestock are found in the morning, weak and listless, with strange, tiny marks on their necks. At first, the villagers blame it on strange illnesses or predators from the deep woods. But then, the same mysterious affliction begins to affect the people. A young farmer, strong and full of life, suddenly falls ill. He complains of a constant chill, a draining weakness that leaves him pale and bedridden. His family is bewildered. Doctors from the nearest town are stumped. They see no signs of any known disease. As days turn into nights, he grows weaker, his skin taking on a ghostly pallor. The only clue is two small, almost unnoticeable punctures on his arm. This is where the whispers start. The village elders, their faces etched with worry, begin to speak of an old legend. A shadow creature that feeds not on flesh, but on life force itself. They say it's a creature of the night, drawn to the warmth and vitality of the living. It moves silently, a whisper in the wind, leaving behind only an unshakable cold and a creeping weakness. The story is terrifying, right? But here's where it gets even more intriguing. This blood-sucking nightmare isn't a monster with fangs and a cape. The legend describes it as something far more subtle, a being that can look just like anyone else. It could be a traveler passing through, or even a neighbor you've known your whole life, hiding a dark secret. As the affliction spreads, a quiet panic sets in. The once bustling village square becomes empty after dusk. Doors are bolted, windows are shuttered, and families huddle together, praying for the dawn. They hang bundles of wild garlic and mountain ash above their doorways, ancient remedies passed down through generations, hoping these old ways can ward off the unseen terror. Now, let's fast forward to modern times. A team of folklorists and medical researchers hears about this isolated village and its strange curse. They're skeptical, of course, thinking it's likely a rare, undiagnosed medical condition, amplified by local superstition. They arrive with their scientific equipment, ready to debunk the myth. The team, led by a pragmatic Dr. Aris, begins their investigation. They take blood samples, test the local water supply, and interview the villagers. At first, everything seems normal. The villagers are hesitant to speak, afraid of being ridiculed. But one evening, a young girl falls ill with the same symptoms. The team is now in a race against time. Dr. Aris and his team work through the night, analyzing the girl's blood. They find something baffling. Her red blood cell count is critically low, but there's no internal or external bleeding. It's as if something is methodically and inexplicably removing the very essence of her vitality. The local legends of a life-draining entity suddenly don't seem so far-fetched. One of the younger researchers, a history enthusiast named Ben, spends his time in the village archives, poring over dusty old books. He finds a forgotten journal from a village doctor 200 years ago, describing the exact same phenomenon. The doctor wrote of a shadow sickness and his desperate, failed attempts to fight it. But he also noted something crucial. The victims seemed to improve slightly during the day, only to relapse eventually more severely each night. This detail clicks with something Dr. Eris noticed. The girl's condition stabilizes in the brightly lit medical tent, but worsens as night falls. They decide to try an experiment. They set up powerful, full-spectrum lights around her bed, simulating daylight throughout the night. Miraculously, her condition starts to improve. She's still weak, but the rapid decline stops. The team is stunned. It's not a creature, but it's not a typical disease either. They theorize that it might be a severe photosensitive form of anemia, triggered by an unknown environmental factor in the village, something that is neutralized by intense, specific wavelengths of light. The blood-sucking nightmare of legend wasn't a monster in the literal sense. It was a metaphor for this invisible, light-sensitive affliction that drained the life from its victims under the cover of darkness. The creature was the night itself. The curse was a medical mystery, shrouded in folklore. Bob, the villagers' ancient remedies, like staying indoors and waiting for the sun, were actually their most effective defenses, born from generations of observations. This story is such a fascinating blend of folklore, mystery, and science. It shows how ancient legends, while sounding fantastical, can sometimes hold a kernel of truth, a prescientific attempt to explain a very real and terrifying phenomenon. The monster wasn't a physical being, but a condition that made darkness a life-threatening enemy. What do you guys think? Could a medical mystery like this be the origin of some of the world's most famous monster legends? It really makes you wonder what other secrets are hidden in old stories, just waiting to be deciphered by modern science. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the scariest things are the ones we don't understand. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the clutches of darkness. If you have any theories or know of similar legends, share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, unhit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.